It's not gonna be no intro today. This is Chico with Independent Press Project. I wish I had that on mute, whatever it was. I always do it. It never fails. I'm here with Dabu, Erick M. I'm Mike Robertson, and whom it may, Bobby. What's up, everybody?
What's up? You forgot E, man.
I said Erick M.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, he said Erick M.
Oh, okay.
What's going on, everybody? What's up, Chico? Thanks for having us on, man.
What up, what up?
Erick D. Baba.
Hope everybody's having a good Monday. It's the beginning of the week, and we've got many more days to go, but the weekend will come again.
All right, the weekend will come again. It will. It's summer. It's summertime. I got my kids home now, making me crazy. It's all good though.
What they do best, man.
It is. It is.
We got about a week left of school here in our area. Finals going on.
Okay, sorry. I was making sure everything around me was turned down. All right. So, man, we were talking, before we went live here, and really don't know where to start, man. It's so much stuff going on. I guess I could.
I want to know more about. I want to know more about what you guys were talking about when I jumped in. About the software and the voting machines. Erick knew quite a bit about it. He just jumped out though. But what's going on with it, Bobby?
Okay, so 25-year-old girl from Augusta, Georgia, who evidently was working for Pluribus Networks. Now, Pluribus Networks is one of the number one contracted network companies of the federal government. Actually, she was working for the NSA side of their contract with them, but she leaked documents, top secret documents, to a website called Intercept.com, which is owned by Pierre Omidyar, and I'm probably butchering that name, and Glenn Greenwald. Now, Pierre is the owner of eBay, and now he just spends his millions on whatever. And then Glenn Greenwald, you might know his name from The Guardian, and he received his fame from leaking the Snowden files a number of years back. Anyway, the documents that they leaked to the Intercept actually alluded to proof that Russia hacked, quote unquote, hacked our voting machines prior to the election, within a couple of days. This was already...
Guys, I believe I went live on the wrong on the wrong YouTube channel, man. I'm pretty sure. Can anybody check that out?
No, you're on the right channel. Independent Press Project. I have the notification.
Okay, because on my watch page it's saying that I'm not live.
I'll double check right now by clicking the notification, but I did get the notification that you're live. Unless I have it for both of your channels.
Yeah, I'm actually looking for the notification right now on YouTube, and I don't even see it.
I'm watching it right now. You have 15 people watching.
Yeah, I'm actually looking for the notification right now on YouTube, and I don't even see it.
I see it now. I found it, but it came out with the, wrong title and everything.
Because that means that the expert didn't properly capture the new title.
Okay.
That's why I have mine confirm itself before going live,
right.
Which is why it always takes me so long to go live.
Yeah, I'm fixing it now. Sorry about that, everybody. At least I ain't just turn it off. I thought I was live on my my Chico Montana channel by accident.
Yeah, I'm seeing it now.
All right, you guys carry on. I'm sorry for that. Apologize.
So this girl's name is Reality Lee Winter. She had it legally changed to Reality Lee from Sarah Winter, and her online presence has been kind of minimal. But it appears that she was a Trump supporter in the beginning, but turncoat after finding out this information, I would say. And I almost believe like this might have not have been the first time she leaked this information because there was already whispers of this going on before. Like, I think she's just being used as a scapegoat. Now, that's my opinion. Everything up until now has been factual. This is my opinion.
To that really quick, Bobby, I was just looking into it right before you said that. These leaks are said to have happened back in March.
Yeah, well,
of last year, of 2016.
I mean, she's been working with this company for a while now, and I mean, how secure can the NSA be if they've got kids? And I say kids because you're still messing up at that age. A lot of people are. I'm not saying that everybody does, but that we're putting our faith in such a.
I see where we're going with this.
No, wait. I'm not trying to attack anybody. That's what I'm saying. Not everyone is silly, but I think at that age you can still be your opinions can be swayed, and your mind isn't quite right, and also you might be shown the benefits of taking the blame for something that you didn't do.
I also think it has a lot to do with your upbringing. How old is she again?
She's 25, man.
And the thing is, it's easy. It's not just about age. It's like it's just the fact that everybody doesn't mature at the same rate. Everybody doesn't. And then too, I believe some people's parents shelter them so aggressively. Not when I say
prolonging the immaturity.
Yeah, when I say aggressively, I don't mean harmfully. I mean just stopping that. They don't go out and hang out. They don't experience the outside world until after they're 18 and out of the house. So some of them are so sheltered that their mind still hasn't even grasped reality yet. So
right, and there's a whole deeper rabbit hole in that aspect too about the about what they're learning in school and how it's taking them down certain paths and all. But for this particular situation, I'd like to know more about this individual person's background, criminal history, perhaps family history.
Well, she it looks like she joined the Air Force right out of high school because. I believe E noted earlier that she got out of the Air Force in 2013.
Yes, she did.
I missed that part. Yeah, so she's a veteran.
Now think about that though. She's 25. 2013 was 4 years ago. She was 19 at the time. She was 19.
No, that would make her 21.
Yeah.
Don't mind my math.
But
wait,
her
you sure?
Yeah, that would make her 21. But it would put her joining the military probably around the age of 19. Maybe.
How long was she in for? Did she do 2 years or 3 years, 4 years?
Not said.
Not said, but on average, I think 3 years is what people do. I might be wrong about that.
4 years. It's 4.
Yeah, 4 years is a standard tour. Yeah.
With term, not tour.
Term. Yeah. Sorry, my bad.
That's all good. It's tours when you deploy, when you go somewhere.
Yeah. Right on. That's why I keep veteran friends around me.
As of right now, that's all the facts. I think if anybody else would like to add to that, Dee was talking about how many different places this company is in that she was working for, this Pluribus Network, and they've got facilities in Georgia. They've got facilities in Alabama, California. They got a lot in Virginia. I mean, a buku amount in Virginia, and they even have locations over in Korea.
I actually have an update to this too. Apparently, she has had her security clearance since 2013.
So essentially, as soon as she got out of the Air Force, they're like, "Here you go.
Yep,
You
she
can
already
have
had her
that."
clearance, which is why I'm feeling she did something with intelligence inside the Air Force.
Yeah, she had to.
A lot of Air Force personnel have to get clearance to even work on certain jets and certain
Right.
you know, so in the Air Force, you're most military personnel, depending on what you're doing and what you're seeing, you're gonna end up with some level of a security clearance. Granted, it may not be that high as security clearance level 1. You know, these things go. You know, there's a level 4, and then 4. Once it goes past there, it's top secret. And
Chico, let me ask. Let me ask you, Chico. If somebody gets a security clearance in the military, can they carry that clearance on with them after their military career into a civilian job that requires them to have clearance?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I just did. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Well.
Yeah, but she was great. What I'm saying to that is she was granted her clearance in 2013. So it seems like around the time after she left the Air Force, she got her clearance.
Yeah, we'd have to dig a little deeper.
You know, and then to me, you guys got to keep in mind sometimes when the soldier is actually still enlisted, there's sometimes, all right, depending on this contracted company, we do have military personnel that work in private sectors, and you know, upon a release like this, they may not say that she's still active military.
Right. Right.
And, so she may never have gotten out of the military. She could still be in the military. She could just be, you know, that could be her duty station is to work at that private sector company. So she could still be an enlisted soldier. She may not be a contractor.
Well, that's crazy. We're gonna have to keep watching it.
Yeah,
well, I tried to look
fresh.
for who am I on. Right.
And Bobby, you did an article about that today, right?
Yes, and I'm updating as new information comes in on that article. So you guys keep excuse me, I'm gonna try that again. Keep your eyes peeled at iCitizen.news for updates on that article. That's really, like I was saying, that's about all I have on that at the moment.
Right now, I'm currently wondering if she did anything involving Afghanistan, because she follows a lot of reporters from Afghanistan. Well, majority of the people that she follows is from Afghanistan. She only follows 50 people on Twitter, and about 40 of them are Afghanistan reporters. And then the other ones are people like Bill Mayer, Elizabeth Warren, and people like that.
Interesting.
But you wanted to talk about Bilderberg tonight as well, didn't you, Chico? And
yeah, I do.
you the topic.
1 second. I had to clear my throat. Sorry about that. All right. Yeah, I did. I wanted to talk about Bilderberg. I wanted to talk a little bit. I was hoping to get LŞIGH in here. She's probably busy. Either way, I wanted to talk about, you know, the people and how you know, some of them. I heard somebody mention somebody saying something about aliens. I didn't hear about that before I entered the chat tonight.
It was more of a apparently it was more of just a joke of what they said.
Okay.
It wasn't an actual thing.
Okay.
It wasn't Bilderberg people trolling.
Yeah, it was an attendee that was being an asshole
Okay.
to the reporters there.
Okay. Well, really, one of the ones who really sparked my interest was Maurizio Molinari. I believe that was his name. From La Stampa in Italy, and you know, he seemed like he was a bit talkative. For those who didn't see it, it's on LŞIGH's YouTube, and who he is he was a Bilderberg attendee, and he kept telling them that they weren't asking the right questions. And then he started to talk about Turin. And in Turin, 1,500 people were injured the day that Bilderberg was letting out. 1,500 people were injured, and it was because a firecracker was set off in a soccer game that was packed. So
well, I didn't hear any of this, man. I've been out of it for 48 hours, so I apologize.
We covered that, Mike. You were there. You just probably don't recognize the name.
All right, maybe not. I didn't realize it was the same time they were in the.
Yeah, it was the
parking
same.
lot. That's when I was.
It was actually the same day as the London Bridge attack, and so 1,500 people were injured, and it was actually from a stampede, from just people running up out of there in fear of their life after.
That's a lot of people hurt.
Yeah, that's quite a few, and that's what the Maurizio Molinari was talking about. He didn't really talk about anything that happened in the meeting. And at the end, he just mentioned Chatham House rules. And let me see if I can share the Chatham House rules for those who don't know what they are. So the Chatham House rules reads as follows. When a meeting or part thereof is held under the Chatham House rule, participants are free to use the information received, but neither the identity nor the affiliation of the speaker or speakers, nor that of any other participant may be revealed. So, I mean, from that, I feel like most of these people are keeping stuff to themselves because they feel they want to.
Well, they would all be held accountable for equal accord in that setting. So if one thing was said, the blame would rest on the blame or credit would rest on either one of their shoulders. That's kind of how I heard that.
I mean, because how I see it is you can't mention who said it nor the affiliation of the person who said it. So nobody's identity of who was the person speaking at the time. There's quite a few people there. So they're just telling you what they're talking about, but not who said it in particular. So I see, to me, if they're not talking about anything wrong, I don't see why that would be a problem. If they're saying participants are free to use the information received, but neither the identity nor the affiliation of the speakers, nor that of any other participant may be revealed. So to me, it's all about keeping people's identity secret, but you can share information of which you gathered. Unless I'm just gathering that incorrectly, maybe. So I felt like that was interesting. So, but do you feel like then there would be, I mean, of course, I feel like, of course, maybe that they would not be allowed to participate again in the next Bilderberg or something along those lines, maybe.
Well, I think it's just a standard way of proclaiming that, you know, it's another way of saying what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, and it's an unspoken rule. Well, apparently it's not unspoken. I mean, it's down on paper what it means, but that's what it means. It means, like, you know, do what you want with what I've told you, but leave my name and my affiliation out of it. So if I were to say something to you and then in the end of it say, you know, Chatham House rules, means it's like do whatever you want with what I just told you, but don't let anybody know who told it to you. That's what it sounds like it means to me.
Which then the accreditation, the credit or the blame would be afforded to everyone involved there,
Right,
or
like a silent source.
And also the what's the term I'm looking for? The value of that, what was said, would then hold validity based on who said it. So they're all speaking as one in unison.
Right.
I guess that's a roundabout way of what I was trying to say. They're speaking in unison, Therefore, the credit and the blame could be cast upon all of the faces that were there, even though we know that there were people in house that weren't published on the list as to the attendees, as far as the attendees go.
Sorry, I was looking
I
at
bet you that happens every time.
I was looking at some stuff about reality winner. I don't know. To me, that just that name, it just sounds crazy. Reality winner. I don't know what to gather. It's too early. Let's see. Well, yeah, I wanted to talk a little bit about the London Bridge attack with you know what happened there. I see that from what I'm gathering here that they've already caught 2 out of 3, but I thought there were 4. Were there not 4? Were there not 3? 3 that jumped out of the van with knives and then 1 driving?
I wasn't able to follow it as well as I would like to have, so I'm a little fuzzy on the details. I did see 3 perpetrators shot numerous times yesterday. I don't recall seeing anything about a 4th, but I was not paying attention all day.
Eric, you got anything? It was you know how many it was? May not be there. Okay, well, you know, for me, what I had gathered when it first happened, he might be having some kind of
Can you hear me?
yeah.
All right, yeah, we can hear you now.
I've been saying, like, for the past few minutes, it's been 3 It was 3 attackers.
Okay.
I guess you can hear me.
Nope. So it was. So who was driving?
One of the attackers.
And then he jumped out and started knifing people?
Yeah, once they crashed the car. Or the van.
Okay. So from what I'm seeing, 2 out of 3 killers are identified. So I don't know, man. All this stuff, it's like it's quiet for a while. I mean, real quiet. And then all of a sudden, a bunch of stuff sparks up at the same time.
That's how it happens. That's how it works.
Yeah, you guys remember when it used to just be a terrorist attack or 2 at the most a year? You remember that? Wasn't too long ago.
It wasn't.
Wasn't too long ago.
I honestly can't speak on that due to my age.
No, it's well within time frames that you would remember.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm talking like,
maybe,
you know, just not that long ago.
It might be due to the fact that information is moving at a quicker rate. At the same time, might also be due to
it also
the
happens.
definition.
Oh, sorry.
I said it might be due to the way information is moved today, and then it might also have something to do with the definition of terrorism changing at a rapid rate. So those things have play key roles in how many we are seeing per annual basis.
Especially like with the stuff going on, like for example, how everything seems pretty much almost a terrorist attack, with the exception of what happened this morning in Orlando, where those 5 people were killed. And I don't know if everybody knows, but this weekend inside of Russia, there was an attack that left 9 people dead. A guy went into a party and just started stabbing people, and 9 were dead, and there was said to be many that were injured afterwards. But did you hear anything about it on the news? Most people didn't.
I did not. This is the first I'm hearing of it, period.
Yeah, I only read about it online, but I really don't really follow mainstream unless it's something that's being shared by others. Sorry, I have to keep muting out for my throat. I might be getting a cold. You guys see that Joe Biden is saying that he's gonna run for president in 2020?
No, I didn't see that. It's way too damn early to be talking about stuff.
Isn't he gonna be like 90 in 2020?
Maybe. I mean, but it's kind of crazy. Everybody's running. I mean, the Democratic side is gonna have like 50 candidates on stage. I mean, Zuckerberg, The Rock, Oprah Winfrey.
Oh my God,
Joe
dude!
Biden.
Dude,
it's gonna be
done.
a clown
I'm
show,
done.
man.
I'm done. I can't with that scenario as our president anymore.
It'll be a reversal. Like this year, we had a load of people running for Republican side, but only 3 people running on the Democratic side. It's going to be a reversal for the next election. It's going to be like 3 people on the Republican side and a load of people on the Democratic side.
We'll see what happens, but I'll tell you this: I'm waiting for that candidate that I've never heard of before, that not many people have heard of before, that has a real message and is just real. That's what I want. I'm not saying that Trump's not. I'm not knocking the president. I'm just saying just somebody nobody's heard of with a real message.
I have a message.
That's who's going to get my vote.
It's
not Taco Tuesday yet, Eric.
Well, it's more than Taco Tuesday tomorrow. We're having Tech Talk Live on my 22nd birthday.
Oh shoot!
Ooh.
Are you gonna have the show?
Yeah.
Oh shoot!
Did you invite Putin and everybody to a dance party?
I don't do all that. That's B.
Well, I know, but we may have to figure that out. A little birthday dance party going on. Guess it's a good time to mention I'll have links out there for Wednesday. Not so sure what's going to happen on Wednesday. I've been distracted the past couple of days. So for those of you that don't know, I got a community strike on my YouTube channel banning me from live streaming for 90 days. So I'm going to go to my backup channel and just run it there. So I'll get those links. I'll get them to Chico. He can put them in the description box for this show. So if you need a place to come back and find it, it'll be there. But it'll also go out on Twitter.
Okay, so WikiLeaks just tweeted out that Reality Winner, one of her leaks is about a tracking codes in color printers that let the government track you.
Well, then that means that's actually pretty interesting because that did get released around the same time, and the color on the codes that are printed out on different colored printers, like the HP inkjets. I think we did a story on that a while ago, didn't we?
I'm not familiar with that. You sound like a dog with peanut butter on the roof of your mouth.
Well, I have.
Probably that was such a Georgia thing to say, brother. Good for you. Otis. No, I know what you're talking about. That's an everywhere thing. Dogs love this peanut butter.
I'm just picking a.
Okay, so let's share here, and supposedly this article that I'm reading from, which is kind of crazy, is from 2005. It says secret code in color printers lets governments track you. Tiny dots show where and when you made your print. San Francisco, a research team led by the Electronic Frontier Foundation, EFF, recently broke the code behind tiny tracking dots that some color laser printers secretly hide in every document. The U.S. Secret Service admitted that the tracking information is part of a deal struck with selected color laser printer manufacturers, ostensibly to identify counterfeiters. However, the nature of the private information encoded in each document was not previously known. we found that the dots from at least one line of printers encode that the date and time your document was printed, as well as the serial number of the printer, said EFF staff technologist Seth David Schoen. That's interesting. You can see the dots on color printers from machines made by Xerox, Canon, and other manufacturers. So let's keep those in mind, Xerox and Canon.
They're the biggest companies that sell the service.
Commercial size.
The service commercial ones, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Those are commercial.
We actually ran a test with that at my old job, and sure enough, those things were there.
Okay, they actually have a list of printers they tested right here. So let me see if I can get on this list.
Damn, yeah, because Canon covers tons of commercial, but Canon also does a lot of consumer products too. There's Canon printers on the shelves of anywhere you can go to buy a printer.
Okay, this list is pretty extensive, man.
Yeah.
All right, I'm not gonna.
Can you copy and paste the list somewhere?
I'll give you the description box.
Okay, yeah, I'll share the link in my description box. But I won't go through the model numbers, but I'll give you the manufacturers that it's been found to be in, and that's Brother, Canon, Dell, Epson, HP, IBM.
Well, that's every printer ever made, ladies and gentlemen, minus maybe 1%.
Konica, Kyocera, Lanier,
Kyocera, Konica, yep.
It's every major manufacturer in the world.
It's every printer manufacturer.
Okidata, Panasonic, Ricoh, Samsung, Savin, Toshiba, Xerox. Holy cow.
Yeah, that's all of them.
It's everyone in the world. Every manufacturer in the world.
Wow.
I'm gonna share
every major manufacturer in the world.
Well, I don't know that I have the time, but I would love to take on the challenge of finding that manufacturer that doesn't do it. That's not on that list. There might be a couple, but damn, they're going to be small scale and hard to find. So tell me exactly again what it does. It encodes dots in the type onto the paper when it prints it. Is that what it does?
Yes, in dot code, they're very, very, very light, so you can't really see it with the naked eye.
So then, what would they have to do? Get their hands on the physical document and run it through a special scanner that can read the code if they wanted to decipher what it was?
You don't need a special thing. All you got to do is just put it next to some UV light and you see it. That's all it really takes.
I don't think it's essentially that easy. I couldn't picture it being that easy.
Well, you might be able to see some.
We did it at my old job. We couldn't read what the thing said, but we put it under some UV light and we saw the dot.
Well, that's fine. That's for seeing the dots, but I'm talking about as far as deciphering the code of what they mean, figuring out the date and the time. So
that wouldn't be for our knowledge, so that'll be for the knowledge of those that created it and have it
right,
because
that leaves a good question then. So if I scan a document into a PDF file and email it to myself, and then create a PDF file out of it,
you guys can go ahead and pull the document out of the description box. It should be there now, and that's for everybody else in the chat too. The first link it's the first things in the description box. The first link is the list of printers that have the dot tracking, and the second link is the link to the article about the dot tracking. And
oh man, pardon my French, Chico, but holy shit, that's an invasive one. That's got me a little ticked off. That one's pretty invasive. That one's rough because
I mean, could you expect anything less, though? That's how I see it now. It's
no.
like our phones do it, our computers do it, our microwave does it, our freaking refrigerator, our smart
and that's why we're hearing about it. And that's why we're hearing about it now, because they've been doing it for so long with these printers that's not how they're doing it anymore. Yeah, your printer can do it, but the voice recognition software is doing a much better job for data collection, and your and the ability to skim off of your ISP for all of your for all of your data, for the data tracking. All of that is a way better way to track you.
2005, man. I mean, and this is the
stuff.
This is the stuff that she's leaking. Reality winner.
So imagine what it is now.
Right, but it's okay that it's from 2005 because that tells us that for at least 12 years, every single printer that we've made, I don't know about every model, but every single brand that is on that list, every single person listening to my voice right now has owned one of those printers at one point or another. Now, again, it doesn't matter anymore 12 years later. It's coming out. Almost seems like a controlled release if you think
that's what. And listen, that's where I was getting with that. What I'm saying is this article was on the internet in 2005, on the internet in public domain. So what I'm saying is,
buried in public domain.
Are they like I want to say catfishing, but I don't think that's the right phrase for it. But are they like just baiting us? Like, are they just using old shit and trying to bring out a new Edward Snowden? But this is really to throw us off of, make us now start digging deep into Reality Winner and kind of get people off the Seth Rich train?
Right. It could be any of that. It could be any of that. It could be to appease the people because they know there's a lot of shady stuff going on right now, and now we find out the voting booths could have been, hacked and like legitimately figure it out. And at the same time, they release something like that. I think it's a distraction. It almost sounds like a distraction to me.
I mean, to me, that's what it sounds like. I mean, and I don't want to say it because it's so early, but it's like, man, it's pretty crazy to me.
If you think about it, though, think about it like this. Twitter, in a sense, promoted it. Not everything goes trending worldwide, and that did within minutes.
You know what I'm saying? It's like it's too open. It's I don't know, man. It's so different than other.
It's something that should have been bombshell if it was released in 2006. It's something, you know what I mean? Like it's something. If somebody would have found it buried wherever it was in the public domain internet archives somewhere, if somebody had found it sometime between 2005 and now, it probably would have come out earlier. But this is a good piece to dangle in people's faces because it's really, again, now that I'm thinking about it, it's not really that big of a deal. When all you could do was go into somebody's house and search for the paperwork that they had in their home when you were conducting an investigation, then maybe, it would make sense to grab up that paperwork. Every crime scene video that we've seen for the past 20 years has shown cops walking out with filing boxes.
But even still with that, though, what makes this the difference is now, well, not now, but in a sense of now back in 2005, when that stuff got released, that showed that even though they can go in and take these documents, now they can see where you got the documents from.
Right, and it's tagged with a date and a time, and it can help them piece things together.
Yeah, whenever you go and like get the drivers for your printer or whatever, and you connect that thing to the internet, the serial number's right there.
And I bet you there's a lot of people. I bet you there's a lot of people, including myself, that keep hard paper copies of some things around. Just some things, just your most private paperwork, your 401k info, things like that. You know what I mean? Like the signature stuff. You keep it around. I
see. I don't print. I don't print much, and I do a lot of writing of stuff but it doesn't matter, man. They have key loggers, bro.
Yeah, now it doesn't matter. 12 years later, it don't mean squat.
And that's what I'm trying to say about this release of stuff. I mean, I need to see some stuff that we've never heard of. That's what I need to see, like some
new stuff,
crazy
like,
stuff
voting
that we
machines.
never seen. I don't want to see stuff from 2005 and tell me that Reality Winner is the new Edward Snowden. Like
she was 13 at the time.
That's crazy, man.
So, were there any other releases that came out by her other than the voting stuff and this printer information? Is there other stuff too, or is it coming out now as we speak?
I mean, as things are coming out as we speak, and that's another thing that is making me so curious of how this went trending so fast. Like, There was no mass data dump. There was no large release. There was, I mean, let me go back on WikiLeaks and see if they blew this up, because I mean they have the power to blow it up really quick.
Right, it's going to be plastered all over their website.
Yeah, no, but I want to see when was the earliest that they started, talking about this.
Talking about it. Who's doing the official releases? Is it WikiLeaks?
No, it was sent to The Intercept.
It was sent to The Intercept.
In 2016. We're just hearing about it now because the girl just got caught back in, what was it, Bobby, March of 2017?
May 5th. May 5th is when they're citing that she leaked it.
So they put this out exactly 30 days or 31 days or whatever after she was arrested.
Interesting. Wow. Interesting. It sounds like a giant distraction to me.
Which I'm sure the 30 days is because that's when they had to like put out her record publicly, and then that's when people actually go into it.
Yeah, we'll see what else comes out, because this is.
So WikiLeaks first started to tweet about it 2 hours ago, just 2 hours ago.
Oh, so this is brand spanking new stuff.
Oh, the whole thing is completely brand new. Yeah, the information just came out. Information came out around like 6 o'clock-ish Eastern.
Oh, all right. Yeah, I jumped out of the hangout.
So it went viral like instantly. Like one person tweeted about it, and Twitter put it in the side viral. Like, this is weird.
Well,
man. I don't know. I just get that funny feeling in my stomach, man.
It began to crash, like drop down in the numbers of tweets about it, almost at the same. Almost.
Well, yeah, it probably got shadow banned instantly. They probably started shadow banning that instantly. I watched it happen in real time with Bilderberg. 1 minute there was like 500 tweets in a row, and the next minute I would search it, and the last thing I saw was from like 48 hours ago with the Bilderberg hashtag.
No, I mean,
I was watching them literally
get the reality winner, because I mean, probably when we started the show, it was at 50.7K tweets, and right now it's at 50.9K. So
yeah, they hit the brakes on it. They shut the hashtag off.
Well, that's contradicting thoughts, though. We're saying that Twitter fed the monster, but then we're saying
I don't think that they're killing it.
I don't think Twitter fed this monster. I think Twitter is just another carrying vessel.
I don't think that they're killing it. I think that I mean, this is all personal opinion and speculation. I just want to let that known right here, right now. I think that there's not enough information for people to really even be tweeting about it when I'm actually just thinking about it openly. I think, I mean, how much can you tweet the person's name with no information? You're going to keep tweeting the same thing about printer dots and, voting machines, and that's it. So I think 50K in tweets, it probably just ran out until...
When did The Intercept first talk about it?
The Intercept hasn't published anything about the fact that she's been prosecuted. They evidently are the ones that alerted the authorities.
Think about that, though. She gave the information to The Intercept back in March of 2016. But The Intercept, I haven't saw anything from The Intercept publishing that information unless they took it down that they published the information.
Right. I haven't. I went to their website. I couldn't find anything.
So it's got me wondering: is The Intercept part of it? Are they the ones that alerted the authorities fully?
I don't know. It's all fishy. Their involvement is fishy from the get-go, because Glenn Greenwald gained a lot from the Snowden leaks, and it makes me feel like this might be round 2 for the man. I really do feel like that. But I had the thought a few seconds ago, and I'm wondering what you guys think about it. If this doesn't play out to be the distraction that they are hoping it will be, if it just fades off into the back of everyone's mind, then what will they use as a distraction? Will they do something else, something bigger?
Something more
And
radical.
within the next couple of hours to take our minds off the things that you guys were bringing up a few minutes ago.
And that's what happens all the time. I mean, it's a good time to watch. I think that's what I hear friends of ours say. It's a good time to keep your eyes open and look around, because when something that seems like it may be shady is going off, just look at everything else that's going on around you right now.
Now, I also want to keep in mind to everybody too. We may see some more things coming out in the next few days or the next week or so. Because remember, the basketball finals are going on. People are distracted with that, so they could be putting out some legit stuff, and we wouldn't even. Well, we would see it, but the masses wouldn't see it because they're too focused on what team's going to win the finals.
Right. Well, public events are popular targets.
It's like, for example, on I believe it was Friday that they had the first game. No, it was Thursday. Well, Friday night, I believe it was the Telegraph came out. Yeah, Friday night around 9 p.m. Eastern, which is like 2 a.m. UK time. The Telegraph put out an article talking about how the new studies came out saying on how dangerous pesticides are. How come they couldn't put that out in the daytime or on a weekday? No, they put it out Friday night, late at night, because they knew everybody would either be sleeping, drunk, or out partying or something.
Right.
So they do these things while people are distracted. They do put out truth, but they only put out the truth when people aren't paying attention to the truth.
Right.
I want to say something real quick. I don't want to sidetrack us for too long. I just want to say, I noticed that I got 5 thumbs down, and it doesn't bother me. I do want to say that if you don't like what you're hearing, go ahead and thumbs down. No, hold on. Let me finish this real quick. I appreciate thumbs down or thumbs up. That's all I want to say. I want the engagements either way. I appreciate it. So if you don't like it, thumbs down it.
It's not the people watching. You're being spammed.
Yeah,
we're still dealing with the spamming of where these people are going into other people's chats, thumbsing it down or taking over the chat and then leaving. That's what you're dealing with. It's been going on for the past week. So don't take those downvotes to the heart.
No,
because they've been doing it to everybody. They were even doing the Titus Carlson down in Ludeberg.
No, what I was saying is I truly mean what I said. Like, I appreciate it whether it's up or down. It's engagements either way. So those who think that they're hurting me by a thumbs down, it's still an engagement on my channel. So give me 100 thumbs down. I got 100 engagements out of you. So, I mean, that's
if you insist.
Yeah.
All right.
That's it.
Let's
keep going.
So what are you talking about on the watch page?
Hey D,
are you live?
Chico wants everybody
yeah,
to
live.
Because the watch page that I've got that you sent that I retweeted out has 6517 no name show, and I'm over there.
Yeah,
I have the audio up. I see Nash said good evening all. There's 4 thumbs up and 0 thumbs down. It says 4 waiting.
You got to refresh that.
I don't know. No,
I have.
Same thing that I had in the
refreshing
beginning. It's the same thing that I had in the beginning. My XSplit, it created a whole nother stream.
Yeah, we've been live for about 45 minutes.
Because when I was first on I had to get off of my watch page and go and find the link, and it was even titled incorrectly and everything. It was titled San Bernardino, and my XSplit just bonked out for a moment. I'll give you the proper link here. It sucks that it got shared as a bad link, but it happens.
Yeah.
So what's going on, D? What's happening in Dabu's world?
Nothing. I've been listening in. I've been here for a minute. I just waiting to say something. I didn't want to interrupt.
I sent you the proper link to your Twitter.
I started noticing what he was saying though, and it didn't match what I was seeing. I was like, "What?"
Yeah, no.
All right, good looking out.
Yeah, it was bonky at the beginning. Something happened. Yeah. What's up, chat? What's up, everybody? see a couple people out there. Ooze, I haven't seen Ooze in a while. Ooze, Ryan, Josie, Lone Star, Danny, Tobefree, Drew, Watt. What's up, everybody? Mrs. Ghost.
It's all our peoples out there. What's up, everybody?
John Smith. I do want to share something actually
days.
before I went off into that. I guess it was it was not a rant, but it was like a semi rant, I guess. But WikiLeaks, when I was going through their page trying to see when was the first time they said anything about Reality Winner, I came across what they tweeted 21 hours ago. 21 hours ago, they tweeted that Hillary Clinton email reveals she knew of Saudi and Qatar government funding for ISIS by August 2014. And in the email, it says, well, what's highlighted out of the email, which is the meat out of it, is while this military/paramilitary operation is moving forward, we need to use our diplomatic and our more traditional intelligence assets to bring pressure on the governments of Qatar and Saudi Arabia, which are providing clandestine financial and logistic support to ISIL and other radical Sunni groups in the region.
Have we had ISIS under that name for that long now?
Oh yeah, it's been going on for a while.
Well, 2014 is around the time when they were still saying ISIL, and I believe it was around like the end of 2014, beginning of 2015. They just switched it to ISIS.
And then Obama rocked it out as ISIL for forever.
Yeah, he sure did.
Did you guys see the images coming out, being tweeted out about DeKalb County, Georgia, on the highway? I-285, I guess there was a fender bender, and the guys got an argument, and then guy shot the other one and killed him. Right there in the road, yeah.
Mm.
So you had all that traffic backed up, people trying to go around it, and then apparently the one guy shot the other.
That stuff. I seen something in Florida with that, and you know, like, it's really important for me to tell people, and I hope that I don't have to, but you know, everybody should know themselves and know, you know, what their, you know, where their points of pressure are. Like, if you know that you're really, really bad with road rage, you shouldn't have your gun on your hip, whether you're concealed carry. I mean, if you're not concealed carry, you shouldn't have it, period. But, I mean, on your hip, at least. But if you're a concealed carry and you got this gun on your hip and you know that you have some anger problems, I suggest that you start leaving that piece home a little more often, because it's really not worth it what you're going to go out there and kill somebody or critically or harm them seriously because you were mad for 5 minutes. And in reality, you would have got over it in 15 minutes, and now you just threw your life away because you got pissed off because somebody cut you off in traffic.
Now, get this. So apparently on Saturday is going to be a anti-Sharia protest in Orlando, Florida.
Sharia?
However you pronounce it.
Okay, Sharia law, yeah. And
yeah, it's going to be an anti-Sharia protest in Orlando.
In Orlando, huh? What day is this? Let me write this down. See what.
Saturday. I'll see if I can get some more information for you.
I mean, my kids are out for the summer, so about to get
okay, it's going to be inside of 28 cities.
So I'm going to see what I could do. In Florida?
When, on Saturday?
Or throughout the country?
Yeah, throughout the country.
Okay.
Okay, we're looking at Orlando, Houston, Dallas, Los Angeles, San Francisco.
For what date is this?
Saturday.
What is it labeled?
Anti-Sharia
Sharia law protest. Anti-Sharia.
So June 10th.
Protest.
Saturday,
but it's not necessarily saying Sharia law. It's just saying Sharia protest.
Well, that's what it is.
Sharia is Sharia law, yeah.
I know, but I'm just making that a fact, just so people know.
Gotcha.
Right.
I interrupted you. What was you saying? It was at the end of the cities?
I got it right here now. Phoenix, Arizona, Batesville, Arkansas, Roseville, San Bernardino, and Santa Clara, California, Waterbury, Connecticut, Orlando, Florida, Atlanta, Georgia, Chicago, Illinois, Indianapolis, Indiana, Wichita, Kansas, Lansing, Michigan, Minneapolis, Minnesota, St. Charles and Kansas City, Missouri, Syracuse and New York City, New York, Raleigh, North Carolina, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, Dallas, Houston, and the People's Democratic Republic of Austin, Texas. I've never heard it called that before. Virginia Beach.
Did anybody else just hear that static, or was that just me?
I don't know. Virginia Beach, Virginia, and Seattle, Washington.
Philadelphia's not on the list?
No, Harrisburg.
That's interesting. So who put it out?
What do you mean? Who put it out?
Source.
Well,
Source.
who put that out? Was it like a Facebook? Was it on? Did you find it on Facebook, Twitter?
No, this is an article from the American Thinker from today. From today, but they're not the original people talking about it. There's apparently been articles about it for a while.
That's interesting. I kind of my whole point in asking was if it was Facebook, I wanted to see if they put it out there originally. I wanted to see how many followers they have, just to try to get a gauge on how many people might actually show up.
What the freak is this? So apparently, they were like ready for war yesterday in Portland at that protest. Portland police found guys on the roof of a building, and they had bags full of firecrackers and bricks. And then they found a truck on Southwest Madison Street that was full of bricks, base coverings, Pepsi, and signs. And then they also found another long stick, which is being considered as a weapon.
You think all the Antifa kids got packed those 4 items for lunch in their lunchbox every day by their parents, and that's what makes it?
They got 1, 2, 3, 4.
No, that's the classic George Soros recruitment kit right there.
There you go. There you go. Get your official brick.
I'm actually about to share my screen for you guys. You definitely got crap.
But you have to go. You have to go to the Bricks for Soros link to get that. That's the number 4.
Okay.
Just so everybody.
Now let me switch this over to here. If I can find this Hangout, I'll share it with you people. There you go. There it is. Are you sharing this screen, Chico? So everybody can see the millions that are watching.
You're not sharing anything besides your icon at the moment.
Yes, I am.
And now you are.
There it is.
These are the people that were arrested.
Yeah. I mean, these are your typical American, just fresh out of being teens in their young 20s, easily impressionable Americans.
Look at
this. This is the future of America, right
This
here.
is the weapons that were collected. Some of the weapons that were collected. Look at these bricks. That nightclub, a metal baton,
it's a shank,
a chain,
prison shank or something.
Yes.
Yeah, look at that. It looks like they're ready. It looks like they could build a deck with what they have there, man.
Right there. I actually thought that this was them building a deck right here. A wrench.
When Soros gave them their official Soros brick, he must have told them, "Don't use this brick all in one place," because they broke them all in halves and stuff. So.
Yeah, look at that. I mean, there's like legitimate knives, hatchets, hammers, flares. Dude, that looks like a giant gate hinge.
I do have to say one thing though. This is a photo taken by Portland police. Why is there this old camera back there? See that thing? I think that thing in like 2002. But aside from that, let's go over to these other photos of stuff that they collected. More flares, rocks, bricks, Pepsi. I can't read that sign.
Well, yeah, that's a complete kit.
There's a bunch of stuff over there.
Dropped off in a nicest purchase Toyota, it looks like, too.
Yeah, and wait, there's more. This is the stuff that they found on the roof. More bricks, flares. More stuff that they found. More knives.
This is it. Keep your eye on your kids.
All this black clothing.
The scissors, the kid scissors, the ones with the rounded edges, so you don't hurt yourself. Well, I added the round.
And then look at these. Look at all of these sticks that they got.
Those sticks look like claws, the ones to the right in the black crates.
Well, those are claws.
Like
And listen, I don't
claws.
want to hear from anybody the words
That's a
words
freaking metal
revolution.
pipe. That's a metal pipe right there.
Yeah.
They were about to knock
Yeah.
somebody out with that metal pipe.
Yeah, this isn't revolution.
Or get knocked
This
out
isn't
trying to
this
swing
this
that
isn't
long
how
black
you do
pipe.
a revolution.
Order out of chaos.
It is order out of chaos. This is why the
Yeah.
Department of Homeland Security was there yesterday and the FBI.
This is watch your freaking
There
kids.
was legit threats there yesterday. There was people going and saying that they were going to go step up everybody at this protest. Antifa people were going and saying that yesterday. That's why they sent federal officers there instead of city or state police. That's something that's a major difference than protests we've had before. Now at these protests, they're bringing in federal officers. What does that tell you with that?
It tells you it's the wrong way of going about it. You know, the real revolution, if it ever happens, will encompass a replacement government. It will encompass a replacement work staff. It will encompass smart people that will make it happen. Taking to the streets and throwing bricks at police officers is like, it's trying to make a point for instant gratification. It's all this instant gratification that's going on right now. That's not a revolution. That's that you're going to end up in handcuffs, hog-tied in the bottom of a truck on your way to jail is what that is.
But even
because they'll shoot you. If you throw a brick in a cop's face, they're liable to shoot you with something.
But with that, though, they bought into federal
If you throw a brick
officers.
at my face, I'm liable to shoot you with something.
They brought in the federal officers because these people that were concealing their faces, I'm not speaking on behalf of all of them, but some that were said to be there, were threatening via social media that whatever supporters of Trump that they saw there, that they were going to cause harm. And that's why you saw all the freaking knives that were there, the metal wrenches, the metal
that's
poles,
fine
all
because,
of that stuff.
Right, and you know what? The hardcore people that will work towards a satisfactory revolution are the ones that are showing up in the streets that are twice as big as them, grabbing them by their throats and pistol whipping them across the face. And we've seen it time and time again. We saw a huge escalation of that about a month ago, right after what happened in California and Berkeley. We started to see videos coming out left and right of people who were fighting back. They were showing up in numbers. They were bringing their big friends with them and their bigger sticks than other people had.
Like this big stick right here.
Yeah. I mean, shit, didn't we even see an Antifa kid duct taped to a telephone pole at one point?
I don't think we can confirm that, though.
All right, well, either way, it could happen.
Dang, is that got a piece of metal on the front of it? It looks like it. Is that a piece of metal up there?
Looks like it. You can't really tell.
I can't tell either.
Listen, if these kids want to get their aggression out on the government, they can do that.
They're not doing their aggression out on the government.
Well, listen. I just mean for them, for their satisfaction.
Hey, Mike,
if they feel like the government.
Your microphone is coming through crackly. Maybe you could do something.
Is that a little bit better?
No.
Same.
No.
Just like if you just tried to talk and you thought it was going to be different.
Look at this thing.
Well, no, I'm moving stuff around. Stop. I'm moving shit around. Is that any better?
Look at this knife.
Oh, Jesus.
It does sound a little bit better, man.
That's a big knife. Yeah, that's a big knife.
What the freak?
Look at it next to the jack handle.
To the
Yeah, the jack handle.
Yeah. I was about to call it a multi-purpose tool, but yeah,
definitely a jack handle.
It's still multi-purpose.
Well,
no, sure.
That is a set of brass knuckles right there.
Anything's multi-purpose.
Well, apparently they were going to use this to fix a fly and to crack somebody in the head.
All right, can you guys hear me now?
A hockey stick or a piece of a hockey stick?
It looks like a piece of a hockey stick, yeah.
Casey Jones starter kit.
Yeah. You got a motorcycle helmet?
A lighter and marbles and a permanent. Wait, what are they doing with marbles, lighter, and permanent markers?
Those are firecrackers. Look at the wicks. You can see
I
the
see
wick.
it now.
You
Yeah.
can see the wicks on them.
Yeah, I see.
Or cherry bombs one.
Yeah.
There might be cherry bombs.
Those
They're
are
about the size
small.
of them.
A little small. But it may make smaller ones.
Side note,
Dang, glass
never,
bottles,
Are those
flares.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah,
that's
look
like,
at that tool.
what are they gonna do
Lister
with
dudes,
flares?
Lister
That's like
doll.
you're trying to start fires. That's the. Okay.
A big stick.
That's a
What
lot
the
of flares, man.
That
Well,
is
they
a lot
can
of
use the
flares.
flares and launch them and tell the other crews if they're in trouble, or they can send up signals.
Yeah.
Throw them in the door of the deplorable.
They can start throwing them in trash cans or cars so that they could light on fire.
Yeah, that's all of it. So we got flares,
That's ridiculous.
glass bottles, loads of knives, a slingshot using an oil filter, not oil filter, oil siphon. What is this called?
Funnel.
Slingshot.
How's Portland on the on the gun laws?
That's a funnel, isn't it?
That is a funnel.
The funnel.
I'm just
I'm
curious.
certain
all
it's a
these-
no-no in Portland.
Little
Yeah, that's
lacrosse.
what I feel like it has to be
Slingshot?
because.
Oh yeah, you see how they did it? They cut the hole
see.
right there and right there.
Yeah, like a bunch of 12-year-olds running around with shit from Dad's garage. I mean,
Exactly.
what
you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like look, be soldiers in a revolution, but be smart soldiers in a revolution. You know what I mean? Like, don't. This is just dumb. This is gonna.
Like this right here, but making
How
a
can you
shield and then
contribute
using
to a
chain
real
to hold
revolution
it.
in county jail?
I don't know. This feels like this would hurt
They
my
use their
arm if I was
dog-
holding this as a
They use
shield.
their dog collar, bro. Like,
Yes, they did use a dog collar.
Yeah, like, come on now. This is like, this is kids dressing up to go to a concert, is what it is. That are in a really heavy mosh pit.
these are
You know what I
kids-
mean? Like,
these are kids that are definitely not going out into the middle of the hood doing this right here. That's what this is.
and listen, and you know what? I actually feel sorry for these kids. I know that they're creating a lot of havoc right now, and they probably deserve what they get. But at the same time, you got to look at the where it all starts from, and what type of talking into and convincing was done to these kids, the types of kids that could have possibly been targeted because they were from, homes where parents weren't paying attention to their children, or, it doesn't take long to put a good sized group of kids together if you're paying attention and watching for a couple months. Those the kids that, hey, you never get any money, you can't hold down a job, you're 20 years old, but I'll tell you what, here's $1,000 check. If you show up at these 4 protests, this is how this stuff happens, and they get their friends and they get their buddies in, and then with a guarantee that the cops aren't going to shoot at them. You may get hurt, but you probably won't get shot as long as you don't go too far with a cop.
Well, like this right here is this unknown substance making people cough in the area of Southwest 4th and Morrison, not deployed by police, possibly from parking garage.
Right. Homemade smoke bomb with 100 D batteries. You know what I mean? Like, this is, almost everything that you just showed.
And right even here, it says crowd and Lounsdale Square continuing to periodically throw projectiles at police officers.
Do we have a number of how many people were arrested at this
14.
event? 14. Well, I damn sure saw at least 50 weapons in one of those pictures.
Oh yeah,
So that means a lot of people.
We got all of these right here. We had the knives and stuff down there. We've got all of these tools right here. Somebody just took their entire dad's toolbox area right there. We got all these bricks. Got photos of these guys on the freaking roofs.
Yeah, it looks like somebody opened up Dad's toolbox and just dumped it on the back seat.
We got all of these bricks and stuff.
Yeah,
Got
look,
all of this.
Listen, I'm not
Those
trying
are
to
shears.
disrespect.
You see the shears? He brought freaking shears to a
Yeah,
protest.
dude, you can kill 100 people with one of anything on that deck right now, and that's the point. It's.
I hope
It's a
whoever,
stat. I don't know.
whichever one of them's dad got his toolbox raided, I hope he whips his child's behind real good.
Dude, you know what keeps coming to my mind is that Black Lives Matter lady that went in and grabbed the kid by
She
the
was
ear
a
and dragged him
boss.
off the street.
She was.
I thought that was the kid's mom. Yeah, I thought that was the kid's mom. But I'll tell you what, I
that not the
swear
kid's
on
mom?
my kids' lives, I would grab them by their ear and drag them off the
Was
street.
that not his
smacking
mom?
them on the way
I
across
was
the
under
street.
the impression that was his
No,
mom.
I actually took the tweet down because Erick got a hold of me and said that it was who was it, Erick? Was it a Black Lives Matter versus Antifa?
No, that was
No, you posted it as an Antifa, but it was from a black. I remember now the situation.
yeah. You posted that as Antifa, but it was Black Lives Matter from like a year before.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I posted it as Antifa's kid's mom whoops his ass in the street or some shit like that.
But it was the
like
other way around. It was Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
Right, but it was his mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was his mom.
Why is this guy smiling? Does you think it's a joke?
Some people.
Why aren't you
Look at the
smiling?
one to the right. He got a smirk. Top row,
This guy?
all the way to the
Yeah, he over there acting like it's a photo shoot.
Yeah, he's modeling. He's taking a face shot.
Well, I mean, you know, how long can they really hold these kids for? It depends on what they got arrested
What
for.
is
If they
that?
had weapons on them when they
What
got
is
arrested.
that? What is that? The second one to the right in the middle row, and the one in the middle at the bottom. What is those? What are those?
I don't know. I don't know. I was looking at that earlier, and I was like, I don't know if I should even say what I want to say on air.
I said it.
Yeah, you said it. That would come.
Yeah.
I want to do a celebrity lookalike tweet for that.
I mean, they get mad. People get mad when you assume their gender. So, are you wrong when you ask?
I think it's it's probably the right thing to do if you can't tell. I mean, you don't want to be disrespectful by guessing.
Yeah.
One of the things I learned early in sales is you got to be careful when you call somebody and you say Miss, Ms., or Mrs. You know, a lot of people don't like to get it wrong. So
of them look like they could be used the drugs. May not be sober.
The problem is they're all troubled in some way or another. You know, it would take way too much time and way too many resources to dig through each of their pasts and try to find some sort of common denominator. You may never figure it out, but the point is they're all in a place that they shouldn't be in, doing something that's completely counterproductive to their ultimate goal. They're just misguided soldiers fighting for the wrong team for a paycheck or a brainwash. And media, and media and everything else. All the other brainwashing, but these ones in particular, they were there for a reason. They all know how they got there. It's for some sort of either pay or, you know, or just being able to be easily convinced that this is their real revolution. Maybe, you know, that, and that's what I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to disrespect these kids' motives. And maybe they're not all kids. Maybe it's disrespectful to call them kids. I bet you there's some full-grown men and women,
like this guy right here. That's not a kid.
Right. So I don't want to disrespect the movement itself by saying that it's specifically reserved for that type of demographic. But what I'm trying to say is, in some way, I do believe that they're all misguided somehow. It's possible to fight for the revolution that you want to fight for. It's just the level of smartness. There's nowhere near. They don't have the numbers to make an actual dent. They have enough numbers to get a lot of people hurt, to get a lot of people arrested, to get some what could be true soldiers for a true revolution locked up in a county jail that none of us are going to remember to go bust them out of when the revolution, if it ever happens.
But that's because on the part of attacking people that most likely might not be able to defend themselves, that's because they're doing this stuff inside the inner cities. So where in the inner cities, can't really have anything to defend yourself unless you can do it with your bare hands.
Sure, and a lot easily. I'm sure there's a lot of inner city youth that's easily susceptible to things like fight for a better future because it's so hard where you're at now.
It's like, so, for example, like with you being next to Philadelphia. If Antifa was to go and try to attack people inside of Philadelphia, you already know Philadelphia is a Class 3 city. You can't have a gun, nor you can't have a knife, especially a knife. A knife is worse than having a gun. Because at least a gun you can keep inside your home, but you can't take that out the house. But you can't carry a knife at all unless
you get a lot of time in a Philadelphia jail for having a weapon on you.
Hey guys, we're gonna end it shortly. So let me see if Dabu has anything he wants to talk about tonight. D, you there?
Yeah.
You got anything you want to talk about?
Well, I mean, kind of off topic, I guess. It's
all good, man. Open floor, bro.
Yeah.
Well, the deal with the UK and Britain, I think is I think the people of the UK really need to realize that they're under attack big time by these staged events. I don't think they're going to end. I think they're gonna continue as soon as one starts to wear off. And who knows these days? I mean, we just had the Westminster event, a mirror event to this.
Yeah, what was that, like 4 weeks ago? 5 weeks ago?
Right. And
like
they had red flags. What's that?
I said it doesn't even feel like that long ago. But look, keep carrying on. And then the Manchester.
But I don't think I'm not saying that it's just going to be there. They could switch gears and move back over to Germany, back over to France. These places where we've seen them stage events before, like at the stadiums and everything else.
That's why, sorry to interrupt, but like yesterday, I live pretty close to Cleveland, and I work in Cleveland, and I had to go to one of the downtown stations. And once I got off the train, a bomb sniffing dog walked up to me, and pretty much suddenly went up to my backpack and sniffed it while I was walking.
Well, good. You should start carrying dog treats, and you should hook up your furry friends in law enforcement.
Well, if he was to sit down after sniffing my bag wanting a treat, then yeah, I would have been in a huge problem.
That would be considered bribing an officer.
It would be considered bribing an officer as well.
No, I'm just kidding. I don't know that for a fact.
Well,
I mean,
mine was some sort of a joke. Mine, by the way, I wasn't being serious. I mean,
right,
but I do mean that people take care of your fellow furry law enforcement.
But not try to deal with while there is a national security event going on, like the Cavs watch party was going on 2 blocks away.
Yeah, I guess they were making sure that nobody got closer than 2 blocks that had a bomb in their book bag.
Oh well, I was the only person with a backpack on, so.
Well, that made you a target, I suppose.
Oh, yeah, they had sniping dogs.
I hope you're not offended. The puppy was just doing his job.
Well, they had snipers on the roofs and all of that stuff.
We're getting a little sidetracked there, fellas.
No, it felt relevant.
It's all good.
You can finish, D.
Yeah, I mean, I guess because in the end, that's what it's all coming down to, anyway. Is kind of that to me. Is in the UK, they're clamping down, and I mean, she said it kind of with her statement of want to clamp down the internet. It's not just here in the physical world, so to speak, where we're at. It's like in the internet world. That's where they're wanting to clamp down as well. And I think they're trying to strike at freedom of speech big time.
That's huge, because that's where we share the majority of our information is on the internet.
Well, it's the same old using false flag events to strip your freedoms. And it's the same old song and dance. And the UK Crown, Mossad, U.S., Saudi Arabia, Jordan, all those countries specifically, they're the ones behind the boogeyman, and they're the ones creating all this. When you figure that out, you have to say, okay, how long are people going to sit back knowing who's doing this now and do nothing and allow them to continue to use these patsies that they create, that they fund, that they're using to kill your people? Because they go through stages in different parts where there's hoax events where people die, but then there's false flag events where people do die. Just like 9/11.
Right.
And the reality is they're not going to quit, because I think what's happening is people are waking up. It's a consciousness thing. I think people are becoming more aware of what's happening, and they're having to serve up more distraction quicker. It used to be spread out false flags, but anymore they're starting to come in bundles, so to speak. Before you can even get over one, here's another one. And, London itself is a different entity than the rest of Britain. You have to look at that. It's just like DC is a different entity from the rest of the states here. They have different laws. They have different everything that they do. It's a complete different entity. And that has sold the people out, I feel, in all these places. And that's the problem. until that gets fixed, it's going to be the same old
Corporation.
song and dance. Yeah.
Good
It's
old corporation.
keep the people slaves while they stay rich. And of course they'll stay that way until somebody takes them down.
Until a smarter government comes along and people catch on.
So what do you do here? What do you do when there's criminals out here at the highest levels? You telling me you don't think there's not corruption out there? I mean, in the highest forms of government inside some of these alphabet gangs, who's the force that oversees those top dogs? The highest general, all these highest people behind the scenes that got all this power. Who's the ones overseeing that? Right. You see, really keeping it in check. The problem is there is someone overseeing that. It is the shadow. It is the group behind the scenes that controls everything. It's just not a righteous group. It's not like a righteous police force
that works for the people.
Right. And because this whole thing's engineered to keep you all slaves. And, that's where it sits as of right now with me. I just think that they're going to continue these events.
I agree, man. I mean, the whole time you're talking, I'm just sitting here shaking my head up and down, man. Like, yep. It's like it's the same thing. It's a rerun, and until people start to wake up, I mean, I do appreciate the amount of people who are waking up by the day, because I do feel like more and more people wake up by the day. But we just have to keep sharing these messages. We have to keep, not worrying about what people think of us, and just share it. If somebody deletes you from Facebook, then maybe you didn't need them in your life, because if people can't understand the truth, what's going on out there, and they just want to live in this fictitious world, then maybe you just don't need to be involved with that person. And so for some people it's harder than others to cut off, so I understand that. But at the end of the day, it's like, do you want a future for your kids, for your offsprings, for your grandchildren? Because this is what it's coming down to, is the how much do you value your life and your freedom, because it's getting taken away from us every day, slowly but surely. And to me, I mean, I'm willing to do whatever it takes to keep my freedom, and I just need a whole lot of other people who think the same way, as everybody here in this panel. It's really important to just share. It's not about growing a channel. It's not about growing somebody's name. I could care less, man, about any of that stuff. It's all about sharing the message, the content. Even if you're not sharing my video, share what we talk about. Share the talking points. You don't have to share me personally. The best form of advertisement is word of mouth. There's nothing more powerful than that. Word of mouth is the absolute best form of advertisement. So if you guys just get out there and share these messages, let people know, give people links. Just if you're just sitting there next to them and y'all hanging out and somebody goes live, just pull out your phone and let them watch a few minutes. Maybe something will spark their interest or catch their interest. It's really important right now, man. We're in a place in time where everything matters. There's not a moment that does not matter. And I mean, that's
Chico, you mind if I get a final thought in here too before we're done?
No, man, I don't mind.
I'm not cutting you off though. Please continue and finish what you were saying.
No, I was really just following off of what D said. If he's finished, you can go ahead and take off.
Yeah.
I'm. It's just off of what you said. Along with that, everybody, just please watch your kids, where they're going, what they're doing, and who they're with. I know it can be hard sometimes. It's a real challenge these days. I know it's very tough to keep a noose on. I'm going to throw you 4 ages that I have around me every day of the week: 15, 17, 18, and 20. So I see firsthand the distractions that are in play, the depression that's coming to kids because they don't know how to fulfill the goals that they have because they're not being taught in school how to do that anymore. The being easily susceptible to things like falling in with the in crowd. And I can assure you that it's more important for today's American teenager, whether they still have their streak with their friends at school on their Instagram page or their Snapchat, I can assure you that that is more important to them than anything going on right now around them. So it really is up to us to save our young generation from what they're going through now, and they don't even realize it had happened, and it started and it took over when they were babies and they grew up with it, and it's all that they know. Make sure your kids know how to do a few basic things too that you've taken the time as preppers to figure out. Understanding how to read a map, understanding how to make an MRE, or some basic, just basic survival skills. That's really important for the kids too, because my kids and their friends, the only reason that my kids know a little bit more than their friends is because of how I look at it. But I can also assure you that it's a constant fight, and most of the time they still don't care. So you see them walking out of the house with a black bandana around their neck, a black sweatshirt, a black book bag, and go check your toolbox, and then chase them the hell down.
For real, man. Honestly though, for real with the kids, man. The schools, we know what the schools are teaching, man. So we have to be just as dedicated to our kids and dropping this knowledge on our kids. We can't let an education system or some foreign agenda just take over our children's mind. We should be the dominant teacher in our child's lives at the end of the day. You want them to pick up those important topics from school, math, English, writing, science, history, but you also want them to want to go out and fact check the stuff that their teachers are telling them. You want them to always know, don't just go from what hearsay. You want them to go out and fact check and do their own research and support them in doing that, because that's really important. And you can also, point them in the right directions of things, because to me, a child's biggest influence in their life is their parents, and the parent you choose to be is really reflects on your child.
Yeah, and if anybody's suffering from some constant reflections of things you've done wrong in the past, there's never a better place to start than today. Just do what's right from this point forward. It doesn't matter what anybody's done in the past. Just make it right today. That's kind of where my head's been at the past couple of days. There's been a lot going on in my private world, and some things are just more important. No matter how important it is to know what's going around the world every day, there really is some things just more important. Like chasing your kids down if they stole your hammer.
Did you want to touch on? I know you wanted to touch on the opiates a bit, Mike.
And that's kind of I take the same stance with that as I do about what I was just saying about keeping our eyes on our kids. That how easily susceptible people are now to narcotics. And Erick had a situation this week where he found a post that somebody had done saying something to the effect of everybody's talking about the heroin epidemic. Well, what about the poor people that are on meth? Listen, meth and opiates are both extremely bad. Cocaine is bad. People know what's bad. I don't need to break down the list. Okay, it's all bad. And that starts with watching your kids too. Where some of you may just be kids. Some of you may be my son's age. My oldest, Jacob, stepson. He's 20. You may be 20. If you're 20, it's cool. I'm not telling you to go watch your kids. So watch yourself. Know that you're being watched by people that care.
What if I'm 17?
Then you're 17.
Yeah.
Know that the people that love you should be looking out. we've all made mistakes in the past. Somehow, some way, somewhere, we've had something that we've had to get over and repent for and apologize for. Many of us have hit rock bottoms and had to dig ourselves out of the trenches, you know, to make life get quote unquote at least semi back to normal again, to be able to start functioning again. Don't let that hard work go to waste. Just transfer it over to your children.
My chair needs some WD-40.
Sounding a little squeaky.
So does these mic.
All right, so
Burn.
we're about to wrap this up, guys. Anybody got anything in closing?
I just want to say much love for jump out here and thank everybody that tunes in and that shares the message. That's for sure.
Hell yeah.
All right, so just for everybody to know, Erick has a show tomorrow night on Erick M channel, Tech Talk Live. I believe it's at 10 p.m. Mike Robertson has 0 Hour on Wednesday night at 9 p.m. And
not for 90 days, I don't.
Oh man, okay. Well, we'll have to figure that out. We'll keep you guys.
Yeah,
informed.
we'll do something. Yeah, we'll do something.
Get him a backup channel or something, maybe. And then
I've got one. I just never put it out there.
Human May has a show, I believe, Thursday night at 8 p.m. If I'm correct.
Nope.
7 p.m. Letting It Be with Bobby D on Human May.
Okay, so make sure you guys check those out. I have links to everybody in this panel in the description box. I also have links to those archives for the printer stuff. Thank you so much, everybody. I really appreciate the support. Share the message. Much love to all of you. And,
yeah, much love, y'all. Good night.
Peace.